Hey guys, welcome to another one of my YouTube videos. I'm going to do a short one today and I'm going to try breaking up this series a little bit more so you guys are getting a hold of nice, simple, short videos to work through, maybe a little less intimidating than a 40-minute expose on, 3 different solos and 5 different rhythms of Luther Perkins. So what I thought I'd do today, talk you through the Folsom Prison solo, analyze it a little bit, show you where some of the ideas come from or how you can reapply them for yourself. And I'll actually do another 2 solos. I've already started working on the transcription of the solo from Hey Porter. The transcription for Folsom Prison will already be available with this video. So yeah, keep an eye out because I'll put out a couple of these. So the actual guitar solo from Folsom Prison goes like this. In terms of the chords for this song, it just uses the chords E. I just used chords twice in the same sentence, 3 times now. The chords E, A, and B7. Now, in terms of how to play them during the song, I have a whole video on how to pick rhythms of Luther Perkins. And what I'd really like you to do is go back to that video and have a look because I explain how you utilize various chords and various patterns to match different chords. That will teach you how to play the song if you understand that those are the 3 chords, because there's a different pattern for E than there is to A, and when we play a B7, we need to alternate that second finger, okay? And that's all covered in the other video, so go and check that out. For the solo for Folsom Prison, we start up here on the 8th fret, and we do a hammer on, just like that. Then we go to the 7th fret, then we go to the 10th fret, back to the 7, back to the 10, back to the 7. Okay, just like that. And what I want to mention is that we're really working off chord tones, and I feel like Luther Perkins did that a lot. I see here that Luther Perkins did that quite a lot. Because if we look at an E major chord, we would be using the notes E, G sharp, and B for the basic chord. So what we're doing here is we're rolling from the minor third into the major third. What do I mean by that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We number the notes based on the major scale. 1, 2, 3 is the third here. E, F sharp, G sharp. Okay. Why do we use F sharp and G sharp? Well, it just happens to be the major scale based on those steps. Okay, we need those notes to make the correct steps to make a major scale. So we've got 1, 2. That note there is the flat third because we would normally play here as our major third, also known as minor third. Okay, the minor third. So what we're hearing, minor third, major third. Okay, so we've got minor third, major third, the 7th degree, and then the flat 7th degree because E major, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp normally. We're actually using a D natural up here. So these are the little things that you hear that often sound really nice, but you may not necessarily be able to put your finger on what they are or why. Well, this is kind of what's going on there. I can't tell you why they sound the way they do. That's kind of your thing. But there's certainly a label we can give them. Okay, so minor third to major third, 5th degree, flat 7. And that idea just repeats. Then we finish with a straight backwards arpeggio of the 3 notes in the E major chord. Okay, 7, 9, 9. Okay. Before I go to the next chord, I just quickly want to mention Timothy Doherty, Brian Polis, and Lachlan Williams. Guys, thanks so much for joining. I've decided to put this a little later in the video now that you're vested. I thought I'd get you then. And of course, if you're not a member of the Patreon and you'd like to join, you get the tabs for these and or for everything that's coming up. And you're just helping me a lot. You know, you could think of it as buying me a beer, buying me a lunch maybe, or maybe buying, even, you've got the option to buy my family a cheap dinner every now and then. So check it out, guys. Have a look, but please enjoy the video, even if you're not a member. Maybe just hit like, comment, and subscribe. That would help as well. The next chord, the A chord. So the next chord here is the A chord, and you'll hear that shift in the song with the solo. Largely because obviously the bass moves, but also the notes that we play here are straight out of the A chord. If we look at an A bar chord, we can see 6th fret, 5th fret, and 5th fret. Okay? So it's just the top end of that chord. What we're doing, slide in your second finger a little. Then we're on the 6th fret, we're barring the 5th fret there. Pick that 3rd string as we slide a little. Strum the 3rd and 2nd string. Up on the 1st string. Up on the 2nd. And we just keep repeating this idea 3 times. I also actually, I left out one note. So we go up on the 1st, up on the 2nd, down on the 3rd. I like to finish up on the 2nd as well. Yeah, it's just a bit more full. You probably could keep it simple. But I'm pretty sure what Luther Perkins plays there. And it's worth mentioning too, I saw on one of the live clips that Luther Perkins plays it back here at the beginning. He goes... Okay, it's a very subtle change if that's what if you want to get to that level of detail. I'll show you really quick. So we can hold the A and the E here with my pinky. 2nd fret there, 5th fret on the 2nd, and 5th fret on the 1st with the barred pinky. Pick down on the 3rd, down on the 3rd and 2nd, up on the 1st. Then we switch to this one. So... And then we move this idea, slide up to the 9th fret, add the 2nd on the 10th, up on the 1st, up on the 2nd, down, and finish on the 9th on the 3rd string. Okay, I didn't tab that one because especially if you're not particularly experienced, it's not something you have to do unless you really want to get close. I've been playing the solo, honestly, in a Sun Record show for years. I didn't even realize until recently that was an option, or it didn't cross my mind. Now that I've seen that live one, am I going to change to that? I probably will actually, because it's just makes it interesting after playing the same songs for 8 years. Okay, but anyhow, moving on to the E chord. Okay, and I do want to mention something. This A chord, it's just like a D chord. Okay, D, E, F, G, D, E, F, G, A. It's just a D shape, okay, all the way up there at the 10th fret. The root note is there, okay, just like here, the root note's a D, therefore that's a D chord. The root note there is an A, therefore that's an A chord, if that makes sense. And by the way, if you're here for a bit of rockabilly, great. If you are a psychobilly player, it doesn't matter who you are, this stuff is useful because it's just fundamental guitar stuff that's being used and it sounds good. And I always find that comforting as a musician to know that you can always go back to basics and find good music. So the next thing that happens in this song is we go back to an E chord. So what we're doing here, we're holding an E chord, open, second, using obviously my 2nd finger and 3rd. 1st finger on the 3rd string. So pick the 6th string, strum, down to roughly the 3rd, up on the 1st and 2nd. And then I pick the middle 2 strings down, and I lift my 1st finger like that. Okay, so now as I come back to starting again, I tap my 1st finger down. So so you'll hear that. You'll hear it as you start again. It's subtle, but it's there. So we do that 4 times. You can palm mute that a little bit for that little bit of a scrape. And by the way, when you strum, you can rake it slightly, which is basically done by putting a little bit of pressure and a little bit of angle on the pick and a little bit of muting and just dragging it across. So palm muting very slightly, guys. So I know I mention this every video, but I just don't know that this isn't the first video of mine you've seen. So I'll just tell you really quickly again. Karate chop the bridge gently. You don't want to do it too hard. Roll across, and you should be getting palm muting. If it's too loose, like no muting, move to your left if you're a right-hand guitar player. Obviously the opposite if you're left. And if you're finding that it's too dead, move to your right. So bring your elbow out to the right. You'll hear that that will open up. Okay, so from there we go to the B7 chord, pick down. So we pick the 5th string, 2nd fret, and let me just show you that chord. 2, 1 on the 1st there, on the 4th string. My 3rd finger's on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and my pinky goes to the 1st string, 2nd fret. Pick down on the 5th string, strum, up on the 1st string, okay, up on the 2nd, down on the 3rd. Oh. Just twice like that. So down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Now we pick the 5th string, pick it again. So I'm still holding the 2nd fret. We go down to the B flat there. Why? Is there a theoretical reason? Sounds good. It's also, I guess you could say it's out of the blues scale of E. Okay, so 2, 2, 1. You can leave your fingers on the chord. 2, 2, 1. Grab the 2nd fret now and pull it down slightly. And we're back to our rhythm, okay? Okay, so that's all transcribed on the Patreon. You can get the PDF from there with the post for this particular installment of the Luther Perkins guitar solos. And that's about everything you kind of need to know. I mean, it very much just using basic chord tones and some very simple little modifications of those. For example, with the E to get this sound. Nothing too complicated. Something you can work out yourself very quickly. And of course, if you're a more experienced guitar player, there's no reason you can't apply it in more complicated ways, or at least take that concept and muck around. You could use more complicated chords. You could work those concepts into regular scales, for example, throwing the minor third into a major scale in general, or the flat 7, etc. So they're just hopefully little things that open up your playing in little bits and pieces. Guys, there's going to be the next one, like I mentioned earlier, on Hey Porter, will be coming out not too far down the track. I hope you've enjoyed. Consider checking out the Patreon if you're not a member. Otherwise, just like, subscribe, enjoy the video. Okay, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.